feeling going into this weekend?
Okay, just preparing. I mean, it's, how do we feel going in? It's a great question because you don't ever feel anything. You just do everything you can to get ready and hope you're ready when you show up on those given days and go from there. But it's a great group of people. So and they have come through and like I say, we just got to prepare and do the things that we need to do and make the adjustments we need to make.
What do you think the streak plays into this? That you've won, now not lost.
Well, that lets you know that lets you know what I think about it. Since I literally, when you ask the question, I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't even thought about it at all.
Do you think it helps them though, their confidence or their playing?
Well, this is a weird activity. Winning helps your confidence and losing hurts your confidence. And so many times I wished I could take that away because you can do the right thing and bad things can happen. And so you just again, the first play against Washington is the only thing that matters. And the idea of that we've won, I literally had not even thought of that. But it does help. It certainly helps. Winning helps. It makes you feel better. That's for sure.
What kind of challenges does Washington present?
A lot. Both teams serve and block really well, and that's where they're getting all their momentum, all their energy is coming from those two things. So we're going to have to pass really well, and we got to make sure that we do the things offensively so that we just don't let them get easy points, both in serving and when we hit and they get score points blocking. So they're both really good at that. Those two things are similar, but they do it in such a dramatically different way. Washington's Washington, the way they have been, and it's a different kind of block, and it's a different kind of system, and so on and so forth, and we have to do some different things. But we have to make sure we're smart offensively, and we got to pass well.
You guys preach faceless opponent, but for the upperclassmen, is this week a little harder to truly have it be a faceless opponent when it's Washington coming in?
You mean you think we have issues with Washington? I have a hard time believing that. It really does. It is because in these situations, everybody's energy is going to be up. For sure. And it's, is Washington a big deal to us? Yes. But Washington State's the one that's 4-0. So we have to make sure that it's literally one play at a time. And I know I sound like Chip Kelly. But it's really what it needs to happen. If you start worrying about Washington State, or you worry about play 5, or you worry about whatever that is, all of a sudden you're out of your game and you're not executing the game plan, and we just need to execute the game plan and take care of the play in front of us.
When you have a quick turnaround, a Friday to Sunday, how much Washington State talk, if any, comes in before the Washington game?
It's the one different. Football plays one a week, and so they literally only get to talk to the players I know the players are doing a good job because they've mentioned a few things about Washington State. So you have to look at both opponents, but we actually have a day between, when it's Arizona State this past weekend, you don't have a day even in between that you can go over stuff. So at least we have Saturday to go over Washington State. So literally 95% of the stuff we're talking about has to do with Washington.
Number 17, I think her name was Veronica Stone. How do you feel about her dance moves on the sidelines?
They can get better.
Okay.
I will say that was the best question. I do want to say this. It's just her being able to stand out here and do this. This kid's awesome. She's so much fun. This whole class has been awesome, and they've made everybody feel better, and that's Veronica. That's for sure.
Is the freshmen and how they're playing right now, is that a big part of this success early on? Maybe something you didn't see coming in?
No, we saw it coming in. We knew that kid was going to play. There's no denying it. The funny thing is I said she hit 550 in the World Junior Championships. Well, she's hitting 500 right now in conference play. She's pretty good. And we knew that they were going to. Willow probably is the one that's caught us most by surprise. But has that been a real pleasant surprise. She's very good offense. And we sort of thought that might happen. But all four of them are playing all the time. And Jolie's only been out when she's been hurt a little bit. She twisted her ankle a little bit, but they are a huge part of where we are.
She mentioned Washington's ability to block and stuff. Is that going to be a little learning experience to really see it up close for them and adjust or plan better?
Well, the one thing, we're actually better. I sort of joked about it today in practice that we're now blocking the balls that other people are blocking. And it's always going to be a little bit of an adjustment, and we don't swing block in practice, and they do swing block. So that's a little bit of an adjustment, and you have to. But we've seen so many opponents that do that, and they're very good at what they do. And so we have to make that adjustment. We're doing everything we can to prepare for that.
Can you compare your readiness for top 10 type teams to when you played the two earlier this year?
No. Yes. I thought we were incredibly ready. I was incredibly confident going in against Texas. We just were so inexperienced in that situation, we didn't handle that very well. And so from that standpoint, we're ready. Probably, if I look back on the single best practice of the year, it was the practice before we played Texas. And then that day we didn't play at the level we wanted to, and then that shook us up for the next day. And but I thought we were ready, and in general, these kids show up the day of a game. I mean, they're pretty good. To have the turnaround in the desert, we go 5 with Arizona State, and we didn't necessarily play our best until the 4th and 5th set, but boy, they turned that around in a hurry to come back out, and we jumped all over Arizona right to start. Now, it didn't finish that way, but we certainly started the match really well, which says a lot in terms of their preparation.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Full go, Jim?
Yep, that's it right now.
As healthy as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.